What is up, guys? My name is Jake. Welcome to Abandoned Episode 6. Today we're doing something every single goddamn person has been asking for since Episode 1, and that is Nickelodeon Studios in Orlando, Florida. This has been the most requested thing for a while, but as usual, I'm going to let you decide what you want in the next episode in the comments, so go down there and it'll be all cool. Also, if you ever want to contact us, other than Twitter or Facebook, we have a new section on our website that will allow you to contact us directly, 100% guaranteed. So let's get into it, shall we? So Nickelodeon Studios is actually, to the surprise of many people, located in Universal Studios Orlando Park. Before we talk about the studios itself, we need to go back a bit. Universal Studios was basically a counterattack to Disney's MGM Studios, or now Disney's Hollywood Studios. When Disney's MGM first opened, it was to be a fully functional movie studio that parted with a theme park. Not only was it cheaper to film in Florida, but they also had massive sound stages and sets to work with. Shows like Home Improvement, the movie Ernest Saves Christmas, were all filmed there. Even the Golden Girls house was on the backlot tour for a while until they ruined it. Disney's park was weirdly similar to what Universal announced that same year. Well, they kind of announced it, that's weird. So much so that Universal actually sued Disney, claiming the company, and Michael Eisner, the CEO at the time, copied ideas from Universal's planned park. So, Universal ended up counteracting with their own movie production park, much like their pre-existing one in California. See, now, when the park opened, much like Disney's MGM, it was supposed to be a fully functional film production studio sided with a theme park. So in 1988, Nickelodeon, the company itself, joined Universal. Then later on, in 1989, it was announced that they would be building their very first studio in the new park. The planned building was going to house some of the live-action shows Nickelodeon had planned. The studio began to film their first show, Super Sloppy Double Dare, a whole year before the park actually opened, which was 1989. Then, on June 7th, 1990, Nickelodeon Studios opened with Universal Studios Orlando, Florida.
Live from Orlando, Florida, it's the amazing 3-hour Nickelodeon Studios opening day celebration.
The studio consisted of two sound stages, Stage 18 and Stage 19, with the main building connecting the two. The main building housed most of the production offices, dressing rooms, makeup rooms, and many other tech rooms. Directly behind both sound stages, behind all of them, was Soundstage 21, and that was sometimes rented out for the taping of shows that required more space. Basically, all of the Nick Gas shows were taped there, like Legends of the Hidden Temple, Nickelodeon Show, Keenan and Keel, Figure It Out, You're On, Global Guts, I think, and it's just a whole lot more, and I mean a whole lot more. I feel to also mention this too. On April 30th, 1992, an official time capsule was actually buried out in front of the Nickelodeon building.
All right, great to be here today. Today is G-Day, that's right, G-Day, the day we're going to take this time capsule right here and stick it into the ground for 50 years. And that the concerned kids of 1992 have become the concerned adults of the year 2042. This time capsule right here will remain untouched until April 30th, 2042.
Little did they know the studio would close exactly 13 years later, on that very same day. So, where's the time capsule now? Well, it's actually taken out of the ground and was placed somewhere else. Where else would they place it than a Nickelodeon Suites Resort, sorry. Yeah, it's out in front of the building, like where the main doors are. I have problems with that hotel. Anyway, so what happened to Nickelodeon Studios? So, remember how I mentioned before that Universal Studios was going to be much like Disney's MGM, where it would half theme park, half production studio? Well, when the park first opened, they almost immediately started to have problems. Nothing technical or structural. It was a problem with sound. Well, this is for Disney anyway, and their problem was a big problem. Now, when Universal Studios opened, it opened with no background area music at all. There are stories of Universal executives walking around the park when it first opened. Like, I'm talking the first few days it was open. And with no music around, like no area music. And they're just like, alright, we need this now. It was like almost creepy, you know? It's like dead silence, no music. It's weird. why do you think they did this? Well, it was actually because they had many live productions going on in the background, and any noise would ruin the production. This was a massive issue for Disney's MGM, because, you know, they had that whole gigantic outdoor set kind of placed in a horrible place, because you got Catastrophe Canyon in the background going off every 12 minutes, and no one just wanted to use it. No one wanted to rent that anymore. For Universal, it was less of a problem because they didn't have as many stupidly loud things going off in the background. In 1998 and 1999, major changes came to Universal Studios, and I mean big ones. First, the parking lot that surrounded the park was turned into a lake, and that lake now spans to most of the hotels and even to the new theme park. A new parking garage was constructed to save as much space as possible. The new archway and globe were constructed in the entrance to bring a more modern feel to the park, as well as a massive expansions such as City Walk, Universal's Downtown Disney, new on-site hotels, and even a new theme park named Islands of Adventure. These changes for Universal meant changes to Nick Studios. So somewhere between 1997 and 1998, 2 new studios were built in Hollywood named Nickelodeon on Sunset. These studios now are used for filming for like iCarly and Victorious, both shows that are now canceled, but still, then Sam and Cat, sure, that's also canceled. Anyway, with the new studio in a much more convenient location in California, this meant less filming in the Florida studio. Also, along the massive increase of things to do in Universal Orlando Park, this meant less people visiting the studio. Then in 1999, there were no new shows being filmed there, except for actually different variants of already existing shows, but those don't really count. Then actually in the year 2000, things kind of picked up. They hosted a big Millennium celebration and started filming brand new shows actually. However, things took a nosedive, a pretty big one. All the new shows that they did film there never made it past the first season. I'll miss you, no one knows best. Anyway, in 2001, things started to get bad. Due to the lack of money the studio had, they sold off around 2,000 props from the building. Things got so bad in 2004, and nothing was being filmed there. However, in summer of 2004, they did film a new show called Nickelodeon Splat. Hooray, right? Yeah, no, it was actually canceled August 17th, 2004, only a few months after they started filming. And that was the very last thing the building ever made. Well, I guess not the building, the people inside the building. At this point, they were running out of money to operate the studio, which was a problem. And that's probably the thing that killed Nickelodeon Studios off for good. So, on April 30th, 2005, Nickelodeon Studios officially closed forever. Now came the removal of all the evidence the studio ever existed. This means between the years 2005 and 2006, the outdoor props and signs were removed. So what happened to the building? Well, in September of 2006, Universal announced that Stage 18, the one on the right, or the one that's closest to that dumb roller coaster, stupid, Rip Ride Rocket, there we go. God, I hate that roller coaster. Anyway, the stage would be hosting the new Universal Studios Blue Man Group. Construction for it went from around 2006 to June 2007, and finally on June 7th, 2007, exactly 17 years after the grand opening of Nickelodeon Studios, the new Sharp Accords theater opened for City Walk. As for the main building, it was left abandoned with all its original decor left inside. I thought I should also mention too, but in 2008 to 2009, Nickelodeon did film a new show in Soundstage 19 called My Family's Got Guts. And that went for around actually 2 seasons, which is pretty interesting. So as of 2015, the building does remain abandoned. Nickelodeon Studios ran for 14 years, filmed over 2,000 episodes, and entertained millions of guests and people everywhere. The building has left a legacy, and if you're ever in Universal, make sure you take that secret entrance onto the left of the park and pass by that building, and you can reminisce in front of the building, and then gain all its glory. It kind of looks like an empty, nothing building, but I'm sure it was the Nickelodeon Studios building at one time. To be fair, actually, this is the only place that I actually do remember going to as a kid. I have pictures right here. I remember, that's me, guys. I remember going to this when I was a kid. I don't know how old I was here, probably like 2002, 2002, maybe 2003, maybe, I don't know. But guy, I do remember going to that building. I remember eating, I remember taking the tour and getting the flubber stuff or whatever, I don't know. But yeah, this is something actually a little more special to me, and Nickelodeon Studios is definitely the thing that I remember most of Universal, since I don't really care for Universal that much, but that's okay. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. My name, of course, is Jake. Leave what you want to see in the comment section below. If you like the video, go ahead and give it a like. If you don't, it's cool. I understand. You're a rebel. I like it. Like I said, my name's Jake. I'll see you guys later, and thank you very much for watching.
Of the Hidden Temple was recorded in front of a live studio audience in Nickelodeon Studios at Universal Studios, Florida.